Okay, reactive attachment disorder. Thumb-sucking, toddler tantrums, and terrible twos are things that children usually grow out of with time and attention. However, these behaviors can be accelerated and amplified in children who have experienced traumatic events or do not get the nurture that they require. There is a social and psychological agreement that infants have the need to feel safe, nurtured, and cared for. If there is a break in the protocol, the ability to develop trust is damaged. I've spent 30 years working with these little guys, and working with them is really rewarding, but it's exhausting as well. On October 30th, we took an audience analysis, showed that 95% of this class didn't know what reactive attachment disorder is. Today, I'd like to change that percentage and give you just a little bit of information. It's just just a drop in the bucket, but it will help you maybe when you see that child in the store who's stripping off their clothes, screaming that they're going to explode and foaming at the mouth. You'll understand it's not just a tantrum, that there's a real issue there. Reactive attachment disorder is a brain disorder that is characterized by extremely inappropriate social relating across a variety of social interactions, and it must be diagnosed within the first 5 years of life. Today I want to share the following information about reactive attachment disorder. I want to share the causes, the symptoms, what it's like living in a household with a child with reactive attachment disorder, and some of the treatments. What causes reactive attachment disorder? That's pretty simple. It's abuse, neglect, or prolonged absence of the primary caregiver. Now I'm going to go into some of the symptomology of it. Christopher Gilberg, in The Essence of Child Psychiatry, Early Symptomatic Syndromes Eliciting Neurodevelopment Clinical Examinations and Research Development Disabilities, published in 2013, explains that RAD is characterized by two subtypes, inhibited and disinhibited. There we go. The inhibited children tend to be emotionally withdrawn, have flat affect. They don't engage when you smile at them or when you tickle them. They're very stiff to hold. They do not cuddle around you. They do not have eye contact with you. This group, more than others, has a failure to thrive. They are underweight. They have basically given up on a life that hasn't even begun for them yet. They are also the ones that will silent cry, and I don't know if you all have ever seen that, but that is just like the weirdest thing ever, is to see a child silent cry. It's so sad because there's no noise, there's no tears, it's just an open mouth, and there's so much emotion in there that's not coming out. Disinhibited children are impulsive, hyperactive, hypersexual, have conduct issues and behavior problems. They are overassertive in social interactions. They are high risk for abuse because of the diminished capacity they have to read social cues. They are also at a higher risk to be offenders. How is it to live in a household with a child diagnosed with RAD? In her book, Nancy Thomas, When Love Is Not Enough, A Guide to Parenting a Child with RAD, in 1997, and this is just my Bible. I love this book. She's just like the perfect person, and she has worked with these kids forever. She's got everything just lined out for you. She says, these kids live in a state of mental chaos, and therefore so does everyone around them. They are unable to trust their environment and control their internal emotions, so they orchestrate external crisis. That way they feel like they're in control of that crisis. As a caregiver, I understand that I may never lose control in front of a child because they depend on me to be that stability, even if they know or don't know that that's what they want. How do we train them to feel safe in an unsafe world? Treatments for RAD. Eve Spratt, MD, reactive attachment disorder, what we know about the disorder and implication for treatment, child maltreatment in 2016, takes a different look at treatments. One is holding therapy, where we've heard those stories where they roll them up in the carpet and they beat the carpet and they annoy that kid until they run to their caregiver for a bonding moment. Those aren't the best, but they still exist. Behavior modification therapy. That's a program where the caregiver is responsible for structure in that child's life. There's also art, play, and stand therapies that go with that. In conclusion, there is a social and psychological agreement that infants have the need to feel safe, nurtured, and cared for. If there is a break in that protocol, the ability to develop trust is damaged. Today I have covered causes of RAD, symptoms of RAD, living with RAD, and treatments for RAD. Abuse and neglect endured in early childhood is often implicated in the development of reactive attachment disorder, but little empirical research has been done to find out what the long-term role is. While it's not known with a certainty if reactive attachment disorder can be prevented, it is clear that the most important relationship to a child is a primary caregiver, and that child has a healthy and secure attachment to them. Thank you.